Hi. Um, I did a video last week, so it's now Monday, and on Thursday I made a video about the Magic the Gathering kind of, I guess, debacle concerning the the YouTuber whose wife was crying at the arrival of Pinkertons. And I made this video, and there was an hour of recording. And as you know, I very rarely edit my stuff. And I just kind of finished it off, and I thought, oh, I'm quite proud of that. I'll convert it and get it all ready to go. And then I stopped myself and I said, what the fuck is your point? And I worry that many people who are pundits, and that's what many have become on Dungeons and Dragons, on Pathfinder, the OGL situation, the stocks, because I made reference to the stocks basically just crashing over the past 5 years. And and then independence and the vitriol that comes across in order to get the clicks. And I thought to myself, am I putting this up because I want the clicks? And yet, even though I had said in my video, I'm not interested in this, when I thought about it, I didn't rewatch it. I thought about it and I said, I'm doing the exact same thing that I'm criticizing others for. We're being incredibly hypocritical when we're casting aspersions against companies for wanting to make money. I don't agree with Wizards of the Coast and their methodology. I don't believe in their business model, and yet I understand their business model. And I think many of you are at least able to appreciate why they wanted to shut down everybody and shut down the OGL. I've used an image from an AI generator on the front of this as the placeholder image. And a lot of people are very concerned about what this is going to do to the artistic community and how it is, in their minds, theft. I don't agree, but at least I can appreciate their position. I on Friday, after reflecting on all this, I'm on holiday now, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's time to get to work on something that I've been thinking of for, well, about a year now. And it's about a role-playing game, and it has a very particular kind of slant. And I wanted to kind of tease my mind about how to start. And so I used Chat GPT. And I have here just, I printed it out because I want to be able to make reference to it and circle it around and stuff. And even though I could do that on my pad, I want to kind of have it. Sometimes paper is just better than an iPad. I looked at this and I was amazed at its power, and I had dread afterwards because as much as there was repetition, there were some very salient points and thought-provoking points that really put me in a direction that I really should have considered, but didn't. It really was an opportunity for me to dialogue almost with myself, but with a brain trust, and I saw the possibilities, but then I saw this dread of what happens to people who are providing written exams for their professors, or written documents, essays, And they can just now use ChatGPT. Other people's work, essentially. But that's the nature of the university, and that's a completely different dialogue altogether. In your BA, you're basically spewing off other people's stuff and giving reference to it. I do agree that Midjourney and others should be giving at least a reference to the collation, but that probably is impossible. Is it going to go backwards? Never. Are we going to set back Wizards of the Coast and stop them from doing what they're doing in terms of their potential micropayments and the use of online characters and characterizations? Let's face it, those who love Roll20 love the fact that you could blank out part of the screen, you could use lighting effects, you could use different spell effects, and this is a very different way of playing than playing on a table with a bunch of dice and feeling those dice in your hand as opposed to pressing a button. But here I was making platitudes and pontifications about how the game has changed, how we need to be neutral, and yet still spitting out crap in order to talk to the non-convertible. If you're watching me, you've watched me because you've found something of thought, something thought-provoking. I don't think that you spend the amount of time watching me because I'm some great pundit. I'm not. I'm a regular player who happens to be older, who has the experience to be able to say, what the fuck are we doing? We're becoming the Fox News of role-playing games, tabletop role-playing games. There are so many that I used to watch that now I don't have any respect for because they're not talking about games anymore, really. They're comparative. They're looking at the debacle, it is, but it's in order to get the clicks. It's the same thing as Facebook, and I'm sure that many of you have the same criticisms of Facebook and of Instagram, that the advertising has become so much. I'm seeing it in Discord. The advertising is becoming so much that we're hardly able to see our friends and family and the things that we've subscribed to in order to get the clicks, in order to get the visibility. Now it's just a wall of advertising. Everything we do is being listened to and assessed, and no matter how much we try to avoid these things, they keep on coming back. My dogs will be barking. So I'm proud of myself that I stopped from uploading that video. And I think that maybe the message today is, if you are a YouTuber or a podcaster or anybody, think before you put things up. What is the point of your message? And what are we just doom videoing? Like doom scrolling? I'm sure you've heard this. Look it up on Google. Are we just doom videoing? I know that there are particular people who are absolutely against woke culture. They're alienating a bunch of people who are fighting for rights. But then at the same time, I have an appreciation for it because the movies that I see at the moment are junk. Not necessarily because they're showing different sexualities or fluidities or racial differences, but because the stories are crap. But there's an entire industry now made to make you hate on. And so instead of us looking at the broader picture and talking about the broader picture of role-playing, Many are turning to the sensational. And on Thursday, I was doing that. If you're putting up on YouTube, there are those who don't care and who are solely looking to become plaque holders, and you know what I mean. And then I think that there are others who just stick away from the discourse and just focus on a particular game and telling people what's going on. I think the greatest respect I have is for Ben Milton, whose Kickstarter starts tomorrow for Knave 2. I believe it's tomorrow, Tuesday, the 2nd of May. I have incredible respect for him because I've never seen him devolve into negative discourse. Now, maybe he has, but I've never seen it. I see him speak about the game, and the game is what he speaks about. He does not, I do not have a political understanding of where he's coming from or a particular understanding. He comments on the games. And I think one of the things that I have to remember when I put up videos and when I think about putting up videos is I don't want to be that type of crap Fox News type reporter or CNN crap reporter or CBC crap reporter or any type of reporter. I'm not reporting the news. You've got the news, make up your own mind. I think that everybody who watches me has a brain in their head because I don't, I try not to devolve into mudslinging, and I try to provide opinions that look at both sides. The big video that I had where people made I think at that time, the most comments was on Adam Scoville, I don't know what it was. Anyway, and the fact that I was watching him so much, and then all of a sudden he did this big bad, and then everybody like kicked him off of the internet. And I was there doing a video saying, when do we let him out of the doghouse? Like, he made a serious mistake. I don't particularly think about this particular thing, but I was disappointed, and so I put up a video. Certainly, I began by that kind of shock, but I tried to give an equal balance to, do we just crucify people forever? Is that what we're doing now? And Wizards of the Coast will ebb and flow. And the big thing that I did last time in that Thursday video was I put up slides about, what was it called? Netscape. And back in the 90s, everybody used Netscape. And then Netscape, and maybe I'll put up some slides, but Netscape just went boom, 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 boom. And then Explorer took over, and Explorer was the highest. And then next thing you know, Firefox and then Chrome. Don't worry about Wizards of the Coast and what they're doing or what they're not doing. They will die a death and transition like everyone else. Critical Role is now coming out with Dagger, I don't know. Anyway, they're coming out with a role-playing game. And if I want to act like Professor Dungeon Master, watch my early videos. I've been talking about them for years, saying they will scoop up all of the new D&D players because they got them in their pocket, and the money will be spent, and they will reach for the top, and they will get to the top. There's an ebb and flow. And there's a lifespan to certain companies, just like TSR. We thought TSR was going to be around forever. We thought Pan Am was going to be around forever. Things change. I just don't believe, and maybe this is just myself, and maybe I'm just too friggin' old to understand that this is just the way of the world, just like Midjourney is going to be the way of the world, whether we bitch or complain or not about the art and the stealing and all that stuff. It just is, and it's not going away. The other is, ChatGPT is going to change the world, because in combination, Wow. Boom. So it is what it is. I'm going to try to be a better YouTuber. And I think I'm going to start focusing very clearly on either playing games, solo games, or doing something where I talk about the creation of games and stick away from the friggin' politics. It's too much. Take care. Have a good day. Think about why you believe what you believe about role-playing games and about companies and stuff like that, and maybe be a little critical. Take care. Bye.